On February 16, 2022, at 7:52 p.m., the Jacksonville Police Department received a 911 call from a man reporting shots fired.
Jacksonville Beach, 911.
Hey, yeah, I'm pretty sure I just heard 3 or 4 gunshots, and now there's a bunch of cars that are backed up. Just thought you might want to get somebody out here because I was 100% gunshots.
All right, I'll get him over there.
All right, cool. Thanks.
Moments later, the police department received more 911 calls, this time reporting that someone had collapsed next to their vehicle and was blocking the road.
There is a car standing in the middle of the road. There is a guy standing on the floor. Hi, yes, I'm calling. There's a guy in the middle of the road, and he's laying on the ground. He's just laying there, having a heart attack or something. And he has a little kid in the car. My husband right now is holding her. She was crying.
Officers rushed to the scene on Sanctuary Boulevard, where they found a black Volkswagen Atlas blocking traffic. On the ground beside it, 33-year-old Jared Bridegan was lying unresponsive, covered in blood. He was surrounded by multiple shell casings and had 2 gunshot wounds to his torso. It was clear that Jared had already succumbed to his injuries. The officers noted that Jared was unarmed and none of his personal items were stolen, including his wristwatch, phone, money, and wallet. To the first responders, this didn't seem like a robbery gone wrong. It was more likely a targeted attack. The SUV was struck by 2 bullets as well, just feet away from where Jared's 2-year-old daughter Bexley was found strapped into the back seat. In front of the SUV, there was a damaged tire in the middle of the road. The tire belonged to a 2004 Ford F-150. Unfortunately, none of the bystanders witnessed the attack or spotted a suspect fleeing the scene. So, the detectives who were assigned to the case hunted down surveillance cameras in the area and were able to piece together a brief timeline of the crime. At 7:50 p.m., Jared was seen driving behind a dark blue Ford F-150, which matched the tire at the crime scene. Therefore, the detectives believed that whoever was in this truck intentionally placed the tire on the road to block Jared's path. At 7:52 p.m., Jared stopped his vehicle to move the tire, and moments later, 4 gunshots rang out. To the detective's surprise, the shooter didn't hop back in the truck and drive off. Instead, he fled the scene on foot. His accomplice had left him behind. Unfortunately, the surveillance cameras could only track the vehicle so far, and the investigators were unable to get a positive ID on the shooter. But they weren't at a dead end quite yet. They now knew what the assailant's vehicle looked like. They distributed this information to several media outlets and urged the public to be on the lookout. Meanwhile, investigators began interviewing Jared's inner circle, which included his ex-wife, Shanna Gardner. Jared and Shanna shared custody of their twins named Abby and Liam. They alternated custody every week, and on Wednesdays, the parent who didn't have custody that week would have a visitation with the twins for a little over an hour. The night of the murder was on a Wednesday, and it was Jared's turn for a visitation. He had just dropped the twins off at Shanna's and was on his way home when the shooting occurred. The detectives wondered if Shanna could provide more insight into the moments leading up to Jared's death. So they went to her house and were met by her and her husband, Mario Fernandez. Shanna said that the only contact she had with Jared that night was when he arrived at her house to pick up the twins and texted her that he was there. As for Mario, he said that he had taken some medicine and was passed out on the couch. However, while interviewing Liam, he had a different recollection of Mario's whereabouts that night.
Was Mario home when you got home?
Yeah, he plays video games. He was playing his video games at his desk.
Did you actually see him playing his video games, or you think that's what he's doing?
He had his headphones, he had the controller, and then I heard, fire, because we play Call of Duty. It's a shooting game.
Okay.
And so I'm pretty sure he was. I heard the thing. He had his gaming headphones. He had the controller. So I'm pretty sure he was.
Okay.
And I think I looked over one time.
Liam could only say that he thinks he looked into the gaming room and was pretty sure Mario was there, so he clearly wasn't certain. However, both Liam and Abby agreed that they didn't see Mario on the couch that night. The police weren't sure what to believe at this point, but they found Mario's alibi suspicious. So they kept him on their radar while they continued their investigation, gathering as much information as possible. Several months went by without any significant leads. During this time, Shanna hired a criminal attorney and a PR team, then went radio silent. The only insight into her life came from her mom, Shelley Gardner, who ran a blog named So Shelley. According to one of her posts, Shanna wasn't invited to Jared's funeral, so they held their own celebration of life for Jared. In one of the photos from the event, Shanna and Mario are shown beaming for the camera. Soon after this celebration, Shanna and Mario took the twins on vacation to an all-inclusive resort. Due to Shanna's ugly history with Jared and her chipper attitude following his death, rumors were beginning to spread that she was somehow involved in his murder. On June 28, 2022, one of Shanna's co-workers and closest friends, named Elizabeth Smith, reached out to the authorities with information related to Jared's death. A meeting was arranged with Christina Stifler of the state attorney's office so that Elizabeth could give a sworn statement. She started by recounting something odd that Shanna said to her at work one day.
You were talking about something that Shanna told you while you all were working at the school, that she was complaining about her and Jared's kind of custody battle. And she told you that, Mario has a military background. He said he could get 4 people and break into his house in the middle of the night and, quote, take care of him and no one would ever know. Is that right?
Yes.
And Shanna said Mario said that in reference to Jared.
Yes.
What was her demeanor kind of when she was telling you this?
Very casual. There was nothing concerning from her. I mean, she kind of laughed it off.
Elizabeth also had a strange interaction with Mario at a dinner around the same time.
You and Mario were kind of having like a contentious discussion at this dinner. He was challenging you about your faith and you weren't backing down.
Yes.
Okay. And you said at some point he kind of looked at you and you called it a stare down.
Mm-hmm.
And
yes.
What did he say?
He said, I'm in the military, I've killed people before.
And you said that Shanna could tell you were uncomfortable, and after this dinner, she sort of called you and apologized.
Yes.
Elizabeth then told the detectives about the beginning of Shanna and Mario's relationship. Apparently, they had only dated for about 4 weeks before tying the knot. But according to Elizabeth, this wasn't a case of love at first sight. In fact, Mario didn't even want anyone to know about the marriage.
And their relationship, when they got married, you said that Mario kind of wanted to keep it secret, and Shanna sort of told you that the marriage, it would be better for her custody battle for her to be married.
Yes.
And that you knew that she got more money from her family if she was married because, they're very devout Mormons.
Yes.
Okay.
Shanna's parents were multi-millionaires thanks to Shelley's extremely successful craft company, Stampin' Up. A large portion of Shanna's income came from her parents, and they gave her even more money as a married woman than if she was single. Their marriage appeared to be more of a transactional relationship than a testament to their love, and the several times Mario flagrantly cheated on her only supported this.
She had found out and walked in on him taking